Hello, my name is Raul Palma. In AD4GD, of course, is more about the semantic uplift that we are discussing, and it's basically making sure that the data that we are providing, making accessible, is interoperable at the semantic level. Interoperability can be addressed at many different levels, but in terms of the semantic interoperability, that the data complies with some standard ontologies, data models, to move data from the raw that can come from many different formats, many different sources, according to different models, harmonize them, and uplifting them with some semantics so that they can be interoperable. When the different systems exchange data, they will know what is the data about, they will understand the meaning, so they will be able to use it, process it, connect it with other data sets. In many cases, there are data that is available. Maybe in some cases this data is also, accessible, but when you get to the data, you don't know how to use it because you don't understand what is the meaning of the data. You don't understand how this can be connected with your own data, so you're unable to really exploit it. And this component is actually trying to address this challenge to make this data accessible, but also interoperable with other data sets. This component is based on linked data technologies and knowledge graph technologies, and basically it takes all the different steps to do the ETL process, basically the extract, transform, and load process. So that means that we start from getting the data from the sources, we do the transformation of the data based on some mapping specifications to transform the data into the target vocabulary or data model. In this case, in our case, is the Green Deal information model, and then potentially also load or store this data in some semantic database or triple store, where the data can then be later on accessible via different interfaces. Some of the data sets on the pilots are being semantically uplifted with this component. Data sets are collected from the sources as raw data, so they're coming in a CSV format, and this component is harmonizing this data, uplifting this data into a semantic interoperable form. So the generated data is then later on stored in not only in the semantic database in the triple store, but also stored back into AD4GD repository, where then the components for AI are consuming this data to do all the AI analysis and simulations. And moreover, this the data and this component in general is connected not only with the storage like MinIO, but also with other components, for example, the components to generate automatically a standard API called SensorThings API out of the harmonized data. So the users and other clients, services can access this data via a standard OGC API. And then this can be also made accessible via the EDC connector as an asset for other participants in the data space to access this data. So it's a lot of connections with many different components in AD4GD. This component will continue evolve after AD4GD and be used after AD4GD by the, for example, pilots stakeholders. They will continue to carry out the harmonization of their data using this component. And then in new projects, upcoming projects, these components might be extended and improved, whatever, to really help the whole part of harmonization of data in a Green Deal data space. This will be increasing dramatically the way that this data can be reusable, because other people will understand what is the meaning of your data. They will be able to reuse it in a much more efficient way. The data will be interoperable because it will, comply with standards.